So you want to put some post holes into the ground without having to use the knuckle jammer. You guys that have dug post holes know exactly what I'm talking about. Those things are not fun to use. So Anbull wanted me to do some reviews on their products, and we have a 52cc gas-powered post hole digger, and here are the auger bits. I've cut the tape to speed up the process here. So let's get into it. So here is a 12-inch auger bit. Well, you guys can see that. Pretty big. It is, I mean, that's gigantic. And it's about 12 inches across here. Yep, just a touch shy of 12 inches, like 1/8 of an inch. So there's your 12-inch auger, and it's about 3 feet tall. We're going to measure from here, from there to the top. It's about, actually it's about 2 feet. About 2 feet tall. And it seems pretty well made. There's definitely some weight here, so I don't see any reason that this would break. There is a little plug here. I could get that off. It's like a little drill bit at the end of this. Hopefully you guys can see that. And that's what you use to get this bit started into the ground. And it's nice, it comes with this little foot here, so it does not scratch up concrete and stuff. That was the 12-inch auger. And there's a little teeny tiny baby. I think this is a 4 or a 3-inch. This is a real little one. Give you guys a measurement here. Yeah, about 4 and 1/4 inches wide, and a total length of, that's about 28, and I measured on the other one up to this flute, so it will be a little bit longer than that. But there's your 4-inch auger, again with the little foot and the drill bit at the end, and it just pins on. You just pull out this cotter pin here and just put it on, and then put the cotter key back in and the pin back in. So feels the metal here is pretty thick, maybe 1/8 of an inch roughly, something like that. That was the 4-inch. And last but not least, which is probably the one that most of you will be using, this I think is the 8-inch. Again, pretty well made. There's some hardened steel cutting edges here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And those are like wear bars, so there are 2 of them. Again, with the drill bit and the little cover. And let me get you guys a measurement here. This is, yeah, 8 inch, exactly 8 inches. And it is about, let me get you a total length here somehow. Yeah, it's about 29 inches. 29 inches long, the total length of this thing. So no complaints there. These look like they will last for a very long time. I've dug a lot of post holes in my life, and it is not fun digging those by hand. Some people use a digging bar, and this machine will blow those ones right out of the water. This will be so much better. Here is what you guys have been waiting for. I will put links down in the description so that if you guys want to purchase one of these, they're there. Should be down in the description, and I might put them in the comments somewhere. If I forget, someone will remind me for sure. So let's bring you guys in here, and I'll show you the Powerhead itself. So like I said, these came very well packaged. Again, I've cut the tape just for time's sake. You can see there's some stuff here, and here is the Powerhead itself. Comes with a mixing bottle. I generally just mix my gas in a 2.5 gallon or 5 gallon container, but it's nice that they include these. This should be around 1 tank. So this is for the oil and this is for the gas. So they say 25 to 1, I think, is the mix ratio on this. So there's the power head, and there's some other things in here too. Here's a funnel, which is nice that they include that. There's also a pair of gloves, a nice addition there. And there is a scrunch, and it looks like an Allen key in here, and a couple zip ties. So I'm not real sure what those are for. You have 2 Allen keys and a scrunch, which is to take the spark plug in and out. So the fit and finish is pretty good on this thing. The paint's good. There's no sharp edges or anything from the plastic. Here is the choke. So that should be run. Oh, there is also a primer bulb. See a primer bulb in there. And this is where you put the gas in, the 2-stroke gas and oil mix. This is a spark plug under here. Yep, there's a spark plug under there. And this is the exhaust. So this is basically very similar to a string trimmer head or a weed whacker head. Just there's an auger on the other end, but that's what it looks like. And it appears the throttle goes over here somehow. And you can run this thing with 2 people, and you can run it just with 1 person, a hand on each side. So this throttle is spring loaded, so it takes pressure. You have to have pressure on this to get it to work. So, you know, this thing doesn't, you know, someone's not using it and it starts spinning or something. But there's the gearbox down there. I am not sure if that comes with oil or not. But there's the, looks like a fill port or something there. This is pretty well made. This is a plastic here. Obviously the handles are metal. The gearbox is metal. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this thing so far. Granted, I haven't used it, but I don't see anything that is wrong with it right now. So let me get in that cover and show you the choke. So I just figured out this little knob here is just a 1/4 turn. You don't have to keep spinning it to get this off. Here is the air cleaner. There doesn't appear to be any oil in there, so I will use some motor oil to wet this down, because I'm digging through dirt and stuff. Can get kind of dusty, and I don't want the dust getting into the engine. But there is the inside of the airbox, and that is choked, that is run. Choke, run, and a primer bulb. Pretty simple. That's what I like about some of most things today. I like being as simple, and no computers, no major switches or anything, you know, sensors and stuff like that. We're living in a technology driven economy, and there's computers and chips and all sorts of stuff everywhere and everything, and it's nice. This has none of that. It's very simple. So here's the on-off switch. No complaints there. It should turn the thing on and off, and just 1 screw through the hole here to assemble it. I figured out what the 2 zip ties are for, and they are to zip tie up this throttle cable, and for the on-off switch. So that gets zip tied, one there, and another one over here. So another thing I wanted to mention is this gearbox in here. You have to put oil in. It is shipped dry. I just took out this bolt. This little bolt right here comes off the side where the spark plug is. So if you look where the little black cap is here for the spark plug, you do have to fill this up. So this is the gear oil that I'm using. It's SAE 85W140, and that's what I'm putting in this gearbox here. So it should be, you probably want to use gear oil. There's gears in here, and I don't see why you wouldn't. The hole is pretty small in this thing, so it might take a little while, but something you can do is put this bottle out in the sun for an hour or two before you want to fill this up, and it'll get the gear oil warmer and it'll flow better. So now that I have the gearbox all filled up with oil, I want to talk about that for a second. So this screw right here, so this is the side of the spark plug again, and this screw here is where you fill it at. It's a pretty small screw there to fit gear oil through. So I fill it up like this, on this way, and then I turn it this way, and then let it dribble out till it's done, and then you can put that screw back in and tighten it. So now let's gas this thing up for the very first time. So it does have a little captive holder for the gas cap, which is nice, that it's not going to, you're not going to lose the cap. And I've got my 2-stroke gas and oil mix here, and we will just fill this thing up. If I had to guess, this tank, it is probably maybe pushing a ½ gallon in capacity, so you'll be able to drill through a lot of holes before you have to fill the thing up again, which is nice. I really like that. So I'm going to fill this thing up, and then let's do the very first start of this thing. So here's how you put the bit on. I just pull the key, the cotter key, and the pin out, and then there's 2 holes here, and you just line up the 2 holes, drop the pin in, just like that, and then put the cotter key in, and then you are ready to drill some post holes. This is the 12-inch auger. Make sure that, I think that was not choked, so that is choked. And then we're going to push the primer bulb. Push the primer bulb in, which is this little guy right here. It'll take it a couple times. To get the gas through it. And now all we have to do is make sure this is the on and off switch, so the O is off and the I is on. And let's give this thing a couple pulls and see how it starts up for the very first time. So something else I wanted to mention, so when you're holding this thing and you're using it, the exhaust fumes are going out this way, which is good. It's not pointing back at you. So switch the on off switch to on. So I have this thing choked. I have the primer bulb primed. The on switch is on. And all that we have to do now is pull the pull rope a couple times. Again, this is a 52cc Powerhead, and it's pretty much ready to go. I know it will probably take some pulling to get this thing to start, which is normal because it has to pull all the gas through the gas lines and such. So there, it just coughed. I'm going to turn the choke off. Maybe 6 or 8 pulls. That wasn't bad for its very first start. It should start right up on 1 pull warm, and then maybe 4 or 5 pulls when it's cold. So let's go drill a hole. I drilled some holes, 1 hole off camera, just to see how this thing works and everything. This thing has a lot of power and a lot of torque. I'm very surprised for its size. This thing, I Personally, I would like to see 2 people use this. You can use it with 1, but you really it's nice to have a second person because you're working against the ground and it wants to turn and stuff. So at least with the big auger, it definitely is. It's definitely got some torque. So just be prepared for that. Hoodie strings, these things, tuck those in, and I've been getting a lot of people have been mentioning about my keychain on my channel, and this machine is definitely one thing that I don't want this thing hanging out. So any loose clothing, tie your hair up, etc., etc. So let's punch a hole here in the ground, and we'll see how this thing. This is probably going to be a cold start. Switch the on switch to on, choke it, prime the primer bulb, maybe 4 times, and when it's cold, or 3 volts, not bad. So there is a 12-inch hole, and I'll measure to the roots here. It's about 26 inches deep, so not too far from 3 foot. That went a lot better than the first hole I dug. The first hole I dug, there were cinder blocks in the bottom of the hole, and I had no idea. So this thing works pretty good. Let's put the 8-inch on and the 4-inch. Those ones should be a lot easier to handle than the 12-inch one, just because you're removing a lot of material there. So something else that's nice about this thing is it is no tools required to change the bits. That is right there is worth it in and of itself, because you don't have to bring an extra set of tools around with you to change the bits. I've got the 8-inch auger on this thing right now, and let's drill another hole right here just for fun. I think this thing is so neat, and it is so much easier than using a post hole digger. So there's one 8-inch hole, and let's do the 4-inch. But like I said, you guys really have to have a good grip on this thing because it has lots of power and lots of torque to twist your arms and stuff. You gotta know when to let go, right? So I had something interesting happen here. I got the bit stuck. It just went beside a root and then just pulled itself into the ground. And I can get this bit out using a pair of pipe. This is like for tightening up pipe. This is a pipe clamp or whatever. I can use this to get the bit out of the ground. So now let's try that again. Well, there you go. This post hole digger works good. Granted, I've only drilled a few holes. However, if you had to pay someone to do this, this thing will easily pay for itself in the very first couple of uses. So, hope everyone has enjoyed my video. Please give me a like and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments and share with your friends. I'm very pleased with this thing. It works as advertised. No complaints. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you all in the next one. It looks like a big mole's been in here, or a big groundhog's been digging.